friends at Tivoli Brewing Company and the Department of Communication Arts and Sciences at MSU Denver, this is Unfiltered. And here are your hosts, Jay Schrader and Dr. Samuel J.
So, I mean, this is crazy.
Let's just slow roll into this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, we've been having a great
keep
conversation
going. Yeah.
without you, so.
No. Okay, so you guys are talking about going to the mountain.
Don't bring us down.
Yeah.
I mean, what Outer Range is now expanded up there, and so they're just massive.
Yeah, Outer Range took over the old Mexican restaurant, I think. So.
Yeah, they took over the space of Rio Grande.
Outer Range.
Yeah.
No ill will towards Outer Range, but they're primarily heavily into IPAs, and they don't do much outside of that. So
okay, IPA. What's that?
This is a beer podcast, and we're talking to a brewer. This could be a long interview, or it could be the shortest one we've had so far.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's
Check,
do a
please.
cheers.
Yeah, cheers for sure. Cheers to Jay not drinking in dry January.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome. Really excited about this one. We've tried to get this one on the books for a while. It's just down the street from work, so it's not bad for me. Jay, where are we?
Seedstock Brewing.
And what's the address? Do you
Oh,
remember?
shit. I don't know. Lowell and West Colfax. Lowell and West Colfax.
3600 West Colfax.
3600 West Colfax. The funny thing is, I've been in here enough times that my car knew exactly where to go. On the flip side of that, it did not know where to park.
I got lucky. I got a parking spot
Yeah,
in
you
front.
pissed me off.
Yeah, right there. I heard you honk at me.
Yeah, well, I was honking to say hello. If I had known what I was getting into with the parking situation.
It's right there.
That's
And
because there's 700 people in here right now.
Yeah,
This
you guys
place
are
is-
packed. This is awesome.
Who are we talking with today? Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Ron from Seedstock Brewing.
What's your
One of
last name,
the,
Ron?
Abbott.
Abbott. Okay.
Abbott.
You're
Get
one
you
of the
a little bit
Abbotts.
closer. There you go.
Yeah, don't be afraid to get that beard tangled up in the mic
All
head.
right, you got it.
Yeah.
You can get as close as you want. We got the mic stands because it was too much of the knocking on the wire. So
I just ate nachos, so it's either getting on the beard or on the mic shield, one of the two.
Well,
My audio production training is the truth. Supposedly you're supposed to be somewhere within a fist's range of the microphone.
thanks,
Okay.
Garrett. Jeez, who are you? What?
yeah,
Garrett.
God,
guy.
making us look bad.
Garrett Watts, former student, good friend, has
Good friend.
decided to join the show. We invited him on, so we're here. We're talking to Ron. So you're one of the Abbotts.
One of the Abbotts.
What does that mean?
Yep. So it's myself, my brother Jason,
Okay.
my dad Ron, and he just comes to help out. He's not an official owner, but he actually works when he's here. Which
Is
is a
he
little
technically
surprising.
an Abbott at least?
He is an
okay.
Abbott.
All
He's
right.
an Abbott.
We've got to make sure here.
Well, I think I have to
You-
talk to my mom about that.
You
That's
haven't-
a different podcast.
Right. You haven't done the DNA swab
You
yet.
haven't
huh?
done it. Don't want to do it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people lately that
Yeah.
don't want to do it
Yeah,
for
don't get
a
in that
number of
93
reasons.
Me or whatever it is.
Yeah. Third business partner is Frank Thomas. So he's I've known him for 20 years or so. So he's like a brother. But, so it's a real family business.
And speaking of family, I mean, just doing a little bit of the background because we don't do a ton of background, but you guys are, I don't want to say stealing, but you're borrowing recipes from your grandfather they brought over from the old world, right?
We are. Now, I'd love to say that we had the actual recipe.
Okay.
That would be a stretch.
Right.
That would be a stretch. But, yeah, when my great-great-grandfather immigrated from the Czech Republic, like in the 1870s, he settled in Nebraska, got his barn set up, and the first thing he did is put a brewery in his barn.
Wow.
And so, the beers that we brew at Seedstock, a lot of them are a tip of the cap back to those old, simple kind of brewing styles.
And here's to the Czech Pilsner that I'm consuming
you.
right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a Pilsner kind of a guy. This one kicks ass.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So how is a Czech beer? Because we don't drink a lot of Czech beers on the show.
Yep.
What are the unique characteristics of a Czech beer that you, as a kind of a brewery owner and also a brewer, can recognize and also share with your customers?
Yeah, I would say off the bat, a Czech Pilsner would be sweet or sweeter than a German Pilsner. German Pilsner is going to be nice and dry and crisp.
Yeah.
The Czech Pils is still hopefully crisp if we've done it right, but it would have had more sweetness, a little more sweetness to it.
So why is that? I mean, I assume it had something to do with what was grown there and how it grew.
And with
everything.
the malts that they use.
Okay.
Also, what we do, it's a little bit of a trick. We actually stop fermentation just a touch early to leave a little bit of unfermented sugars left in the beer. Not a ton, because obviously there's problems if you leave too much. But yeah, we like to leave a little bit of sweetness in the beer.
Okay.
Yes.
So in terms of who's brewing the beer? Who's brewing the beer? Is it just?
That's a great question. So I'll answer that a little long-winded.
Go for it.
We like long-winded.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
means
So
it keeps us off the air.
So
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
I got about 6 hours here.
That's fine. My wife does not want me to
go
go
on and on.
Yeah.
Usually I get paid by the minute, so you know I keep going. Yeah, when we first opened, Jason and Frank and I, it was like 4-year-old soccer, where we would all follow the ball around and we would all do everything. We quickly realized that there is a lot to do in a brewery. So to answer your question, we split that up. Frank is responsible for like sales, delivery, little distribution.
Yeah.
Jason is our head brewer,
Okay.
and then I do back of the office stuff like the marketing and the real exciting stuff like finance and accounting. That's
you have a face for podcasting.
Yeah, that's right. That's me. That's me.
You're talking to a banker here, so I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love my job.
Okay, right. I used to work for. Can I say it on?
Yeah,
on
go
television?
for it. Yeah.
This isn't television.
Well,
I used to
someday,
work for Wells
someday.
Fargo years.
Oh,
years ago.
sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like, did you guys finance part of this as a startup through Community Banks of Colorado?
We did not.
No.
We used. And again, it's okay to say this.
Yeah.
Inside banker
they
talk.
don't,
whatever
they
the
don't
fuck
do it
that
anymore.
is.
They don't do
Yeah,
small
I mean,
business lending, but Colorado National Bank.
Colorado National. So
Yeah.
it was with Kim, right?
Kim, yeah.
Kim and I worked together at a couple of banks.
Oh,
So-
fantastic.
and shit, I can never remember her last name, which is
She got married.
horrible because I've known her for a long time.
Yeah, she got married, so it's a different last name.
Yeah,
they
Kim.
moved to Oregon.
why it's
Yeah, they live in
Unfiltered.
Oregon now.
Yeah. Love Kim. Yeah.
Kim was great. So she was at Colorado
this is
National.
the nitty gritty.
All right,
Yep,
good.
yep.
Cool. We
It's
totally
literally
come
how
off.
the beer is made.
This is
right
this is
here.
how the beer is made. This is how the podcast
Yes.
is made.
Oh
And
my
I'm gonna
God.
really fuck things up because I'm gonna make Ron switch with me because we can't see him on camera.
Yeah, we should go.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
switch it up, yeah, for sure.
Because nobody wants to look at my ugly mug.
Agree. Yeah, we need to see
All
Ron.
right, take 5.
No, we're going to keep
keep
rolling.
going, okay.
Because it limits the time that I have to spend editing this, Ron. That's the key.
All right, we've made the move.
Smarter, not harder.
Smarter, not harder. When did you open up here?
2016, April of 2016. So we're coming up on 4 years.
So what was here before?
It was an auto body shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. As well as the building next door. I think they did the painting in here, and I think they did the body work
Over
next
there.
door.
That
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep.
So how much time did you spend researching where you wanted to go for a brewery? I assume an immense amount of time.
Literally years and years.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Tell us about
yeah,
that.
Yeah. We we incorporated, again, to get a little geeky, but we incorporated in 2011. And we looked at several areas, several locations, and from 11 to 2000. I think we signed the lease in 2014. So it took us about 3 years to find a spot that we really, really liked.
Okay. Where were you looking? I mean, what were some other spots that you were considering?
So it had to be affordable.
Okay.
That
Wow.
was number one. So
That's
that eliminated most of Colorado.
Yeah.
Most of Denver especially.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Jesus, you're ahead of your time as far
No
as
kidding,
West Colfax.
where we are.
I've been preaching this for 2 years, and I feel like I was 2 years behind the curve.
We love this location, and it was just kind of a feeling. It was a sense that we had. When we first opened, it was kind of awkward. We had people. I was behind the bar serving beers.
Yeah.
People would get their voices really quiet, and they would say, "Why did you choose this location?" Because craft beer people are nice, and they didn't want to be offensive.
Right.
But and I kind of said, look around, and it was, it was great. The clientele, almost from the beginning, has been awesome, and it's only, the neighborhood's really blowing up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did well with this location
Oh,
for
thank
sure.
you, yeah.
We actually we were in just a couple of weeks ago for my birthday. We did the Tappin' Burger, and then we stopped in here for a quick beer, and then we went to Little Man Ice Cream.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's like a hipster heaven right here along
It
West
is.
Colfax.
Soon, I think next fall, you'll be able to go to Odell's is opening a
That's
pizzeria
right.
and tap room at 17th and it's
You should know that.
Mead or
I haven't seen it actually.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
I
going
live,
in and-
I live at 18th and Eaton, so I'm just right down the road.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
No.
I've been here several times myself.
okay, awesome.
I think Odell's is going into one of the apartment buildings that's going up right on the south side of
Right,
Sloan's Lake.
Yeah, right on the lake. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen the. It's going to be a gorgeous. I mean, Odell's awesome.
Yeah.
So they're going to do it right. Yeah, looking forward to it.
To be totally honest, I think a year ago I would have said, well, aren't you scared of the competition? But I think 52 episodes in, now we realize how it works.
Yeah,
But
first of all,
you have to be super excited about a place like Odell coming in, but also the marketplace coming
Absolutely.
in. Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
just drives business in here.
It just
doesn't
really, it just validates why we're here
Yeah.
and what the
Oh, yeah.
neighborhood is about. And I suppose the other thing on competition, I mean, if our business plan were, if we were going to be successful, if we were the only business in the neighborhood, we would fail because obviously there are going to be more and more, people, more bars, more breweries. So, yeah, we think we love it. We love Odell's coming.
What do you think the city does just with Colfax in general, though? Because just getting here, it's kind of it's a little scary to cross the street, for example, right? Not because of people, but because of cars.
Sure, yeah.
Have you? I mean, is there planning stuff going on that you're in the conversation with
Yes,
the city?
yes, and it's all public.
Okay.
Yeah, they're renovating West Colfax
Okay.
from all the way from Federal down to Sheridan.
Okay.
Right, so past Little Man and
Yeah.
the Sloan
Right about
Stoutenburg.
where Lakewood starts. is
Exactly.
what they're
Exactly,
doing.
yeah, yeah.
So the west side of Sheridan technically is Lakewood. So Ron and Seedstock are benefiting from the city of Denver's investment, and our friends over at Westfax are benefiting from the Lakewood side of things.
okay.
And Lakewood's doing their part too.
Oh,
Don't-
absolutely,
Yeah, don't
yeah.
get me wrong.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I just feel like you're sitting on a gold mine here, and if, whether or not you knew it the day that you signed the lease, you had to be reassured shortly after opening that this was where you needed to be.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that we're smarter than we are because it probably is 75% luck and 25% insight. But it was just it was a good feeling we had about the neighborhood. So there's going to be a lot happening on West Colfax as far as the city and bike lanes and pedestrian crosswalks. In fact, I got a text just an hour or so ago from the building owner. I think he saw in the news that they're talking about now putting a light with a crosswalk right here at Lowell.
Oh my
That
God!
would be
Which
nice.
would be awesome.
Yeah,
That
how
would be
many
awesome.
how many suitcases of cash did it take for you to get that approved?
Well, I have a lot of suitcases, but not a lot of cash.
mostly empty suitcases.
They were empty, yeah, they were
I don't
that's
know.
all right.
The number of jaywalkers across Colfax at 8:25 in the morning probably
It's
also
scary.
validates that decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Oh,
did
yeah,
it on the way
absolutely.
over here tonight. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
knows what the guy in the vest is doing on Colfax.
Okay, we don't ask questions.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But it is busy. I mean, it's just, I think a lot of people from where we come, minus Garrett, who lives over here, right? Us suburban white people don't get over here very often.
Mm-hmm.
You drive over here all day long, and it's just so busy all
Yeah.
the time on West
yeah.
Colfax. So, yeah, I mean, it makes total sense that you would want to set up shop here.
We love it. We really do. Yeah, we got lucky.
So, before you open this place, in between the family bringing over recipes and you opening the spot, what's your relationship to beer in the midst of those 120 years?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm only 50, so I can't. I
was gonna say
speak
37.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Thank
God,
you.
he
Thank
looks
you.
better than I do for sure, and I'm 39.
It's a low bar, Jay.
Yeah,
So-
dry January hasn't helped.
Yeah, so actually my brother Jason and I, we started home brewing in 1992. Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure Jason was even 18 yet. I think he started home brewing with me because he couldn't buy beer, so he wanted beer.
Yeah.
So we started home brewing together. We brewed a lot. It was just a really fun and great hobby over the years. In 2005, so again, that's 15 years ago, I went to work in finance for Mike's Hard Lemonade, actually.
Okay.
So I got into the business side of things, if you will.
Yeah.
And Mike's Hard Lemonade moved their office from Lakewood to Seattle, and I didn't want to move, so I was just doing some networking, and I met with Brian Dunn of Great Divide, just to meet people in the brewing industry. And Brian said, "Well, Ron, why don't you just open your own brewery?" And I thought that was the stupidest idea that I'd ever heard, but it sort of planted this idea in my head. That was 2005.
Were you making good beer in your house? I mean, was it tasty?
It was
consistent.
I would say some of it was tasty. I would honestly, I'd say I've probably at home made more bad beers than I've made good.
For sure.
If I can be honest.
But could you get that consistency with those certain
Yes,
styles?
yes. I started to, I started to brew a lot of, we do a Bohemian Dunkel here. It's a Czech-style dark lager. I brewed that all the time just because I loved it. But, I started to get some consistency in a lot of the beers. Jason kind of went his own way, so we were brewing separately, which was kind of cool because he would brew, different styles than I would, and so we got together and sort of compared notes, and it was fun. Sometime in the mid 2000s, I met Frank, and he's an industry veteran, I guess, from the distribution side. He's worked for a lot of the big distributors for like 35 years or so. And we, over many beers, you've heard this story before. We decided, we're tired of being bankers and in corporate America. Let's throw everything we have and risk our savings and our marriages, which have all failed since then. No, I'm just kidding about that.
Ours are getting there.
Yeah, that's why the punchline of my story was that Tanya just was happy that I was going someplace that I could bring her a beer home. Because usually she's like, "What the hell time are you going to be here? Are you going to the grocery store on the way?"
Yeah, right.
And what do I get out of this weekend? Which is usually nothing. So. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, you took the leap, though.
Yeah, we took the leap. The classic, again, the story that that you guys have heard many times. And
no, this is the first time.
First time, yeah, right.
The roots of this one are great.
It's usually two narratives, right? The guys who are Garrett's age who make beer in the closet and they go, okay, we can do this, right? And 10% of them make it.
I never did.
Right,
Okay.
10% of them make it, and they're really good at doing it. Or it's guys like you and gals like you who are just
journeymen. They've done something else. They've done something
live
else.
life, and now it's time to try your passion.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done this. I have two boys, two sons. One's 22 and one's 24.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done this 15 years ago because I was, coaching football and basketball and going to soccer games and doing all that dad stuff. So if you want to hear some dad jokes, I probably got that too. But
you're talking to the right crowd.
But
I got to refresh.
Exactly.
But, now that my kids don't need me anymore, or they think they don't,
Right.
it's time to do something I wanted to do. So.
Is your wife involved in the game at all, or?
No, not really.
This is your pet project.
Yeah, this is my pet project. She's very supportive in all seriousness.
Sure.
But she's not really a beer person. I think when we go out and get a beer, she'll probably order Amstel Light, or maybe it's a Heineken, or something like that. Something that's nice and skunky.
Not a Michelob Ultra.
No, she's not Michelob Ultra.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Quite there.
So she doesn't play golf.
No, she does not golf. No.
Oh, there you go. I mean, there's a strong correlation between golfers and Michelob
Gotcha.
Ultra drinkers.
Fair enough.
Also,
Fair
tennis
enough.
players.
Is there really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I had no idea.
Oh,
So we got to capitalize that
just
market.
gotta work
get
at
a
a
locale,
liquor store.
Yeah, should've.
Exactly.
4 or 5 years, and you'll see the
Oh yeah,
correlations.
you would know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Shit, we got to do an interview just with him. I forgot you worked at a liquor store for all those years.
Yeah.
Oh man, depends
shit
on
you
depends on
learn.
where the liquor store was. We may not want to peel at that bandage.
County Line and Holly.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. You
I
know a
mean,
lot.
County Line in Holly. That sounds like Davidson's.
yeah, but
it's
it was,
actually
it was,
across the
Oh,
street.
okay,
So
okay.
there's like the nice Davidsons there.
Yeah.
I was at the sketchy Ukrainian one that was
Okay,
across
okay.
the street.
Way better, I'm sure. Way better.
I mean, we did our best.
The more crazy shit they sell at the liquor store cash register, the better the liquor store, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
If you can buy pipes, if you can buy lighters, if you can buy a fucking
there's
yoga
a
mat.
box for 25
We
cents
offered
to
you
donate to the
zigzag rolling
Shriners.
papers at the counter.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
no, no.
And we had lottery machines. So.
One of my favorites is the liquor store in our hood that they've got this gigantic white fluffy dog, huge dog, and the dog never moves, just lays there on its side. It's like a Burmese mountain or something like that. Beautiful dog, never seen it move. There's a big sign, please don't touch my dog. I'm like, nobody's gonna touch the dog. It looks stuffed. But they also sell Colorado hats. Why would you buy one of those in a liquor store? I don't know. In the burbs, no less.
You know, I can speak to that. And the answer is
Drunk
you
people.
just got amped because you were at some concert. You're making your last stop before midnight. You're like, oh man, Red Rocks was such a fun time, or something along those lines,
want
and
that
they
hat?
just buy them. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's all kinds of goofy stuff.
I've
the
never
number of
been
people
that
who
drunk.
came in and just got a couple of like shots, and then we're also like, hey, you don't happen to have snacks?
So now
We didn't,
I'm going to
but
tie this together
they
because I'm a
wanted
good podcast host.
You're gonna bring it back. You're gonna bring it back around because we've come completely off the tracks.
Knowing that we have a rather smart business person at the table with us,
Who's that?
I thought
Somebody
it was.
raised their hand,
Yeah, I
it's
thought it
not
was.
me.
It's not you. Yeah. Oh,
what have you
well.
learned since grocery stores started selling beer?
Oh, it's
Like
been
what-
a year.
yeah, like
yeah,
it's
it's
been
been
a
a
year.
year.
Yeah.
Let's put that on you.
Yeah.
Like what are you seeing?
So we don't do that.
I know you
yeah,
don't,
Yeah, we're
but I know you pay
yeah,
attention
Yeah,
to that,
so
yeah.
I do pay attention. We're way too small for
Right,
that. You know,
right.
if we could get into Safeway or King Supers, we couldn't supply that. Yeah,
Right.
the demand.
There's exactly.
So just from me personally, as a consumer walking down the aisles at King Supers, I don't think the selection is very good. I'll go to Molly's, I'll go to Argonaut, I'll go to Davidson's, I'll go somewhere else. I do not buy. I don't buy my beer at the big shops.
Here. That's. I mean,
Well, that seems to be what I've heard. What we've heard just from talking to people is that liquor stores always make their money. You can stop me too. Liquor and wine, right? Liquor and wine is where you have the highest kind of margin. You're going to do it. So if you can supplement that with a Fremont Brewing Company, right?
Right.
That kind of stuff that you would never see on the shelves in King Supers.
Yep.
You're going to do it. And I guess from me buying beer over the last 3 to 4 months, you're beginning to see King Supers, right, and Safeway go back to Denver Beer Co.,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Or an Oscar
It's-
Blues or an
it's-
Odell's or all of that, right?
Yeah.
But the smaller, if you want a smaller person beer, you go to the liquor store.
Yeah.
And they can make a shitload on margins. I was talking to the guy yesterday at the liquor
Yeah.
store. Like, that's how they make their money. Like, they can buy a 6-pack from Fremont or Crooked Stave for $6 and sell it for 13.
Yeah, that's
a pretty
insane.
good margin.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. Well, and also, my dad happens to work for Safeway. He's
Okay.
not a buyer, but you go to King Supers, they don't want to deal with 100 sales reps from 100 different breweries.
Yeah.
They want to talk to one point person who can get them all these brands that you're talking about, because they don't have the time to manage 800 different SKUs or whatever it is.
So does a place like Seedstock, right, or a place like Westfax, can you make enough of a nut on distribution just targeting those kinds of places in a city like Denver, or is it more just sticking to over-the-bar beer
Yeah.
sales?
Yeah, so I can't speak to a lot of that because we haven't done a lot of packaged distribution. You know, we've done some bombers and we've sold them to Molly's and Argonaut and a handful of liquor stores in town. But I can't really say that we've honestly head first dove into that. We're really small, as you know. You're looking around. This is what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So we do kegs, and then obviously the tap room. A couple of years ago, so we've been open almost 4 years. 2 years ago, we had about 50 off-premise keg accounts. Not that would order necessarily every week. You know, some of them were monthly, some of them maybe even quarterly. Some were definitely weekly. We found out quickly that we are way too small to manage 50, 50 accounts.
That's a lot of lines you got to go test.
Exactly. And delivery. And, we were throwing kegs in the back of our Nissan Pathfinders.
Yep.
And, we don't have these big shiny vans, that some of these other places have. But, so we made a conscious decision. This was right before the whole, grocery store, liquor store we still want to we do kegs. We have about, I don't know, maybe 10, maybe 15 accounts that order regularly. But we do not what I would call sell. If somebody calls and wants to order a keg, if they're in our area, we'll sell to them.
Sweet.
So does that mean like if they're on your way to or from the brewery?
Maybe, yeah. In a lot of cases,
I
yeah.
mean, it's
yeah.
a pretty
What does that
limited
look like?
distribution.
Yeah, so yeah, for example, true story. My dad eats and drinks a lot at this little bar in Southeast Aurora called Heroes. Plug out to Heroes.
Yeah.
Been there.
He's-
Yep,
Have
I've been
you?
there a couple times.
I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it.
for
I've never
sure.
been in
Their
it.
food is
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, it
Their
is,
food is
it is,
fantastic. It's an old not a VFW, I think, isn't it?
Oh.
Not VFW.
I was going to say American Legion.
Yeah, American Legion.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so we get accounts by like me or my dad or my brother, whoever, going and having a beer somewhere, having a burger, and they find out we work for a brewery, and we just have a personal conversation, and and the relationship develops, and they're a great account for us. I think we have three of maybe 10 handles that they have.
Do
are
you really?
Seedstock
Really?
Brewery. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's great, and they sell a lot of our beer.
So when you opened this place up, did you think through that bit? That was the business model you were going to deploy? Like, was it? Okay. Breweries in this town, I think there was a boom where everybody thought they were going to distribute and they were going to make a shitload of money like Odell or like Oscar Blues and everything. And then very quickly that wave receded, and then it was something else. And now, I guess, from what Jay and I have seen, a brewery like this place is almost like the local tap that our
yeah.
mom and dad went to.
Yeah.
Neighborhood
Yep.
pub. Neighborhood pub.
Yep.
Is
absolutely.
that what you thought going into this?
No.
No. Okay.
No,
okay. Okay.
no,
All right.
Because when we think about when we formed as a business in 2011, really the boom hadn't quite happened yet. I mean,
probably didn't
Denver
even-
Beer Company wasn't open in 2011, I don't think. I think they might have been maybe 12 or 13.
Yeah, 12 or 13, I think that's right.
And they obviously blew up. But yeah, back in 2011, we were thinking we would start off, call it like the dry dock model, who's been incredibly successful, but
Right.
owned a really successful tap room and a neighborhood brewery, neighborhood pub.
Yeah, a center point
Yeah.
for the corner of the city that they're in,
Exactly.
and that's what it comes
Yeah.
down to.
Develop the brand, and then start to distribute. Now, we didn't ever think we were going to be as big as Dry Dock or Odell. We have no desires to do anything like that, but we definitely thought we would be canning or bottling
Okay,
at this
okay.
point.
Do you regret that? Are you concerned that you're not? Or are you guys comfortable with where you're at?
We're comfortable with where we're at. I would like to can or
Okay.
bottle, at some point. And mainly it's because that's where I think our customer is. They're out there. They're the non-craft beer drinkers. I mean, if you look at our tap list.
That's a good beer that I could drink while mowing
Dude,
the yard.
all
Same
day.
as that.
All day.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry, that's not
I
your
mean,
hammer,
our
but
beers are all very approachable.
Yeah.
I mean, we have one IPA on tap, and we do that just because
What's
we have
an
to make
IPA?
money. Right.
Exactly.
Did you hear that? They have an IPA on tap because they have to make money.
For assholes like me.
Yeah. What does that tell you?
And actually, I love IPAs. I mean, I drank hazed and infused almost exclusively for years.
That's
and years.
old school,
back
too.
in the late
Hazed and
90s.
infused, yeah.
Delicious beer.
I drank a ton of that when I was a young man. We'll leave it that way.
That sounds like underage to
That's
me.
a border beer.
I
right?
cannot confirm nor deny, but it especially went well with the King Super's illicit stuff that I was buying at the time.
Gotcha. We'll leave it at that.
There you go.
So I want to touch on this for a minute, and I think it's a little tongue in cheek, but all of your beer that I can see on the board from here is fairly traditional, fairly old school, old world again, as I may say. But then you stick in an IPA, and you made the comment. I mean, you want to make money. Is that something that you feel like you're forced to do almost because there's an expectation from craft drinkers,
Right,
that you have to have an IPA?
I said that jokingly.
Okay.
We do, I do like IPAs. It's not my go-to beer.
Right, and I'm an IPA. I'm middle of the road, right? I mean, like the original IPAs, I could get behind. I would enjoy them periodically, but I don't like getting kicked in the face with an IPA anymore.
Right.
And what Sam and I are seeing, I think, depending on the brewery, depending on the scene, is that some people, all they want to do is IPAs. I mean, we talked about it. Outer Range is IPA heavy. I mean, that's
Right,
I think
right.
when they opened was all they were and wanted to do. But I also wonder deep down in the back of my mind, and we've talked about this with some brewers and some breweries before, are there certain beers you feel obligated to make and have on tap on a regular basis? Whether that's an IPA here or a fucking seltzer someplace.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
and that's kind of our favorite loaded question recently is, what's next? Are you guys going to cater to the seltzer crowd come spring? Or?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Wow, that was a hard
it's
pass.
a hard
on that.
pass. Yeah,
okay.
no, hard pass. No, we
Are
don't.
you sure? I mean, you're in Sloan's Lake.
They're easy to make.
Okay, we'll do
They're
it.
easy to make. Yeah.
What I will say about the seltzer industry is that every couple of years, every decade or so, somebody comes in and tries the Zima model again.
Right.
And it blows up again.
Yeah.
And then it peters out just as
Goes
quickly.
away. Right.
You guys can think on your feet, though, right? I mean, you can move quickly. So if IPAs are in this week and seltzers next week, I mean, you can kind of cater to that.
We could.
Yeah.
We're small enough that we could. We don't want to.
You look like a man that really is happy
Set in
to
his ways?
I was going to say that really likes to appease everybody, which is, again, tongue in cheek, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
we don't. So to answer the question,
Right, the
we
long
don't
question.
we don't feel at all like we're obligated to make anything. We decided early on, so we all left, corporate America, and we wanted to start brewing because we were passionate about beers. We were passionate about specific beers, Czech Pilsners, Dusseldorf-style Alts, Bohemian Dunkels,
Yes.
And like IPAs too. But we have got a market and a tap lineup that we're very comfortable with. And honestly, if we die on that hill, I'm very comfortable with dying on that hill. I don't want to make a seltzer, and I don't want to have 8 IPAs on tap.
okay, good.
That's
I like
fine
that.
that's fine for some people that do. That's okay. I don't mind.
So as we go back towards, I think you're right. I'm not going to argue against that. But as we go back towards that kind of pub model, the neighborhood pub model, where you know exactly what you're going to get and where you're going to get it, do you think that there are certain? Are you comfortable in how other folks are doing that too? That same kind of approach. Like, do you think that there's going to be the IPA pub? There's going to be the Czech pub and all
The
of this, like
seltzer pub in Arvada?
Yeah, like what's? I don't know if that's a really shitty question, but I just want to know. Like, I understand exactly what you're saying. Is that a viable enough business model?
I don't
Across
know.
town.
That's
Okay.
that's a good question. I really don't know. I mean, I think it's very popular. I mean, there are breweries, there's some really, really good breweries that have a bunch of IPAs, and they make delicious IPAs, and I love the breweries. I personally think, they're especially in the Denver metro area. I mean, how many breweries are there here? 100?
My wife asked me that very question not 20 minutes before I pulled into the parking lot. So, and my answer to her was, what the fuck do I look like, a brewery encyclopedia?
Yeah.
I've done 52 interviews, and that's not nearly all the breweries, and that was kind of the end of the
You're
conversation.
probably halfway in the Denver metro area.
In metro,
You know.
exactly. So
I mean, I think you have to pick with what you're passionate about, what you're comfortable with, and you got to go with it. And if people like IPAs or like seltzers or whatever, that's fine. It's just not something that we would feel comfortable with doing.
That makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe it's hopefully we're taking more of a tortoise and the hare. We're more the tortoise where
play the long game.
play the long game.
Well, I mean, I think New Belgium, their purchase, to me, in retrospect, made so much sense because their portfolio was very unique in the sense they weren't making a shitload of IPAs, right? They were making a Fat Tire. They were making, what are some of the other kind of staples?
Ranger.
yeah,
Ranger.
they
Well,
had
but that was their
just
IPA, but
a
like
couple of
their
staples.
Sunshine.
They just
their-
had staples,
and that is very attractive.
and they didn't fuck with it very much. They had 4 or 5 models, and they might have had 1 or 2 variations here or there. But if you look at them, they didn't change much in the last 5 to 10 years.
And honestly, an IPA, I drink all of them.
Yeah, we know.
You can't
We
tell the
know.
difference. I mean, that much from
my
from
palate's
beer to
not
beer.
sophisticated
No,
enough to tell
no.
us.
Citrus
Oh my
Relic
God!
was a good one, though.
I love hearing that there's a brewer
Relic
out
was
there whose palate is not sophisticated enough to tell the difference. Because I thought it was just me. Thought I was the only one. This makes me feel better.
You can roast some pallets with those hops. You can really burn them.
Oh yeah,
Well-
kicked in the face. That's what I was saying earlier. So I'm going to ask. We're going to make it a little bit I'm gonna turn it around for a second. You guys have stuck with what you know and what you like. And again, I'm gonna look. I can kind of see the menu. You got the Czech pills. You got a Bohemian ale. You've got an amber. You got a Bohemian barn beer, which I think is the one that I read about specifically. And you've mentioned. I see a Kolsch. You mentioned a Dunkel.
Yep.
What in the hell were you guys drinking besides great grandpa's Nebraska barn beer?
Yep.
What were you guys drinking in the interim that you could find from somebody else, from big breweries, from small breweries, from Europe, from the East Coast?
Yeah.
Where did you find this beer, and what was it that kept you guys on it?
Yeah, my favorite brewery in the world.
Write this down, Sam.
Is probably Ondex, the monastery south of Munich.
Oh,
And,
okay.
they make. They've been brewing for a few more than 4 years.
Yeah,
maybe
a couple more than you?
Yeah, 500 years or something like that. But and I was in Germany. I can't remember how many years ago, but had their beer, and then was able to find it at Davidson's. Sold the what's the 330 milliliter, whatever those squatty bottles are.
Yeah.
You can get a few of them. So yeah, I drink a lot of that. Honestly, in the late 90s, it was hazed and infused.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. And Odell's 90 shilling.
Okay.
And I'll
Cheers.
still
Cheers to
drink
that.
90 shilling all day long.
They
Dude.
are just doing such
all
a good,
day long.
It's like they've had this rebirth with their beer. Is so good.
Yeah, love it.
90
Love their
shilling is a classic. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
I mean, almost.
beer.
Yeah.
Boulevard's Tank 7.
Yes.
Okay, that's
that's a
one
good
was
one.
one of my favorite beers.
Boulevard has kind of had a rebirth too. Apparently, I mean they're doing a hell of a lot of stuff. that people are
Yeah,
loving.
they were purchased a couple of years ago by is it Duvel?
Duvel. Did they buy them?
I think so.
I know they're not quite craft anymore.
Yeah, they're a little bit bigger.
They make a great beer though.
Yeah, they still
make
do a
great
hell of a
beer.
job.
Yeah.
But it's remarkable to me that out of all the traditional, again, I'm going to keep saying old world, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on that, but out of all the traditional styles, you really were only drinking one brewery or one beer that came from that old world space, and then a lot of what you were drinking otherwise is cutting edge,
craft.
hazed and infused,
Yeah, it was
cutting edge
craft.
stuff. Yeah, craft.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, I had a lot of Pilsner Urquell, the Czech Pilsner.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no. And then there's the other brewery, Victory.
yeah.
Their
Oh,
Prima
yeah.
Pills is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Have you had the Golden Monkey?
Love Golden Monkey.
Golden Monkey was one of my favorite beers right out of the gate when I turned 21.
Delicious.
And I will say, there's a level of validation that I'll give to you in the process of just making kind of old world style beer.
Right.
The real way that I became introduced to beer back in the day, I started brewing more actually cleaning brewing equipment with one of my friend's dads when
Yeah.
I was in middle school.
Love it.
Yeah, the hard rule was you don't put the yeast in it because that's when it becomes a crime, but I can do everything else.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's always been very much of the opinion that if you're following the German purity laws, if you're staying consistent in your batches, that's really where it's at. And I've got to say, I went through a phase when I was really into
thank you.
the IPA and also just pale ales of every variety.
Right.
But as I'm getting to be older, and I know that ends up being an unpopular opinion at this table because I'm the youngest, but I start coming back around to the idea of I don't necessarily need it to be hoppy or flashy as much as I just want it good craft.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I use a couple of analogies on this. It's kind of like you buy a table, and it's a really simple table, and you can tell it's quality made, and it's smooth, and it's great wood, it's put together well. That's a craft table, but there's nothing fancy or special about it.
Yeah.
But a craftsman made that, and it's a
Yeah.
very, very good table.
And when you slide it across carpet, it's not going to come apart
It's
like
not
an
going to come
IKEA
apart.
table.
Exactly. It's not going to come apart. It doesn't look like anything special. There's I don't want to say there's nothing special about a Pilsner, because I think that there is, because it's so balanced and it's so subtle. maybe that's the word I want to use. It's subtle, like the simple craftsman table. It's very subtle, but it's craft.
It's slightly blue collar, right?
Slightly blue collar.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and in all the best ways, the blue collar is blue collar.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's talk
Pride
about
in doing
this
something with your hands.
for a second.
What is that?
We've been bagging on IPAs.
Yeah, well,
Right,
they
wanna
only
make an IPA.
They only
Yeah.
make one
This
here. We haven't been
thing
bagging on it. We've been bagging on
is
you.
amazing.
That's a fucking good IPA.
That is a good IPA, and that's why I drink IPAs, not for the haziness. I don't like the hazies. I don't like any of that shit that WeldWorks comes out with.
You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop doing that.
Good, clean IPA. This is delicious.
So this is the first place we've been in that's had an IPA that is just an IPA,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I think it speaks to what's going on here, right? They're just fucking making beer to make good quality craft beer and serve it to people.
So it's kind of funny, brewing with my brother since 1992. The first time that we brewed an IPA, and we drank IPAs all the time. The first time we brewed one was, I think it was after we signed the lease on this place. So it was
wow.
like maybe 2013
Seriously?
or 14.
You're like, fuck it. I guess we're in.
I guess
We're all
we
in.
make an IPA. But we're going to make an IPA.
See, I'm telling you, you got to succumb to the pressure just a little bit.
But we designed that recipe. We actually put there's a small amount of oak smoked wheat malt in it, like maybe 2% or so, and we add smoked malt to actually tone down the hops and mellow out the hops, just because we didn't want this explosion of hoppiness, which most people really love.
Yeah.
And I do too sometimes.
But
that wasn't what we were after.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So
that's a hell of an IPA. So what you got? You got something?
I do.
What do you got? Did you see is there a
No, because our
lipstick
best
print on your-
conversations come after we stop recording.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But I'm gonna do a pre-hard cutoff.
Go ahead.
We've talked about craft beer. We've talked about quality beer. You guys are almost on kind of a desert island out here, as far as I'm concerned, right? I mean, you're not that far from any brewery, frankly, but you're in a really particularly good place in the city where you're the only brewery. But all that being said, and taking into consideration the simple fact that you claimed prior to recording that you don't drink nearly as much as you used to before you own a brewery,
Right.
Where are you drinking, or what are you drinking when you're not here?
Man, what am I drinking?
Is it your wife's Amstel?
No, it's not. No, I'm not an Amstel. Not an Amstel
Stella.
fan. Yes, Stella.
Oh, God.
absolutely. With 12 limes or lemons in it, or whatever goes in there. To be honest with you, I still drink a lot of 90 Shilling.
Oh my God!
I gotta be totally honest with you.
Is
90
my
Shilling-
beard capable of catching up to his? I feel like we're kindred spirits
Yeah,
here.
you guys are.
If I can find a good Pilsner on tap, I always have a Pilsner. Like I said, Prima Pils by Victory is one of my favorite Pilsners in the U.S. Bierstadt, obviously.
Okay.
The slow
I was-
it's
I was
amazing.
waiting for it.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I should mention them right off the bat. I mean, talk about people that are committed to something and doing it the right way and have principle. I mean, those guys are great.
And they get up every morning and they look in the mirror and they go, "Who the fuck cares?"
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
because this is what I want to
I
do.
love talking to Ashley, and I walk
Yeah.
away feeling
yeah.
tiny every time.
Hogshead is similar, like
Yeah,
with the
actually-
London Porter.
So Hogshead, brass ring, Sam, brass ring. Have we even tried?
We haven't tried since our second episode when Jason Zambrunen tried to get us in there.
I think very early on I got after you guys to go to
You
Hogshead.
did, but their the guy who's founded it goes to England every year
Right.
at this time, right? Kind of.
I don't know him. I don't know.
We have a little bit of.
He's
I
definitely
think the
back
word
in
is-
Reach back
February.
out.
I think
Yeah,
the,
I'll
I
reach
think the
back
word
out.
is we have a little bit of cachet. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
using that correctly,
we're
but
good.
I feel like now we have.
Hey,
something
we made it
to
a
s-
year.
Yeah.
We lasted.
Talk to us. We know what we're talking about.
Okay, we'll get in there.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that the wrap? Are we done? What was? I mean, we've addressed
Everything.
we've addressed the craft beer that made him a craft brewer.
Do you want the kids to get involved? Your kids?
Actually, thank you for asking that because I think back.
Like
I mean,
long term, and is this something that they want to do?
Probably not.
You don't want them
Probably
involved,
not. I
or
don't know if
they don't want
No,
involved?
they probably don't. I mean,
This is
one's
finally-
20, one's 22 and 24. I don't
This
know.
is finally his thing. He spent 24 years raising him.
Yeah.
Wife doesn't want involved. She's drinking her Amstel. He gets to dick around with his brother. This is my dream, Sam.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't want my kids messing it up for
Yeah,
me.
stay the fuck out
Where are
of
they
here.
in school? Do they go to school?
Let's see. My youngest is a senior at Colorado State.
All right,
mechanical
go
engineer,
Rammies.
And the oldest is at home right now.
Oh,
That's what happens,
okay.
right?
So, yeah.
So you better put him to work.
Yeah. He's cleaned kegs here before, but
Good. It happens.
yeah,
It's all
it
right.
happens.
Parent,
It's all right.
parenthood, man.
Dude,
happens.
Never
dude.
know.
We had a long talk the other day with the oldest one about, hey, A, number one, you can't figure out how to lock the deadbolt. B, as a result of this, when you graduate from high school, you're not invited back until you can figure out how to run the deadbolt. And then she screwed it up again. This is great. I'm going to timestamp this. She likes to drink my coffee in the morning,
Okay.
but she doesn't like to lock the deadbolt on the way out of the house. And I lost my shit 2 days ago. And the new rule is, if you don't lock the deadbolt on the way out of the house in the morning, you don't get coffee the next day.
That's hardcore.
Holy shit! Deadbolt was
It's
locked.
gonna be locked.
The
She
deadbolt
likes
was
her coffee.
locked this morning. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't mess with my coffee.
16 years old. Yeah. I mean, don't fuck with my beer. Don't fuck with my coffee.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. What do you got? We done?
Yeah,
You like this?
so I know you do a lot of cool stuff around here.
Oh,
What do you have coming up, that we should promote into the month-ish, February-ish, that you want to kind of talk about?
Oh, February-ish. Let me think. I suppose the next big thing we're doing is our anniversary party.
Okay.
And that's in early April. We'll do a Friday, Saturday thing, couple of bluegrass bands each night, some really good
Nice.
bluegrass bands. We'll also be releasing a special release beer. So we had, I should have mentioned this.
Keep going, you're fine.
We had a beer, the alt that I'm drinking was rated the third best beer of 2018 by Beer Connoisseur magazine.
What the? Why did you
I
bring
know,
that up?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
The
I'm
you-
sorry.
yeah,
I'm not a
yeah,
very
yeah.
good
Talk
marketing
about
person.
burying the
Yeah.
lead.
Well, it
Our
actually
Emily's
gets
over there going,
I was gonna
what
say,
the
aren't you the
fuck,
marketing
Ron?
guy?
I know it actually
Jeez.
gets a little better.
Okay.
A couple of months ago, or maybe a month ago, they came
The
out
third
with
best.
of 2018. But a couple of months ago, they came out with a list of the best beers of all time, and our alt was ranked number one.
No shit.
No, it wasn't. I'm
Oh,
just
God.
kidding about number one. But it was ranked, I don't know, 30,
What the-
32 or 36
Out of how
or
many
something.
beers? Like the top 100 beers of all?
Zillions.
Okay, well.
I mean,
Still.
there had to be at
Every
least
beer they've ever rated.
You
10
didn't,
grand.
You didn't
Yeah,
feel
the
like
beers.
that was an important
No.
thing to talk
you
about?
know,
It's very humble.
I suppose it was important.
He's like, this podcast thing is
But
weird.
to our
These
to our
guys suck.
anniversary,
Nobody's going to listen to this. We don't need to talk about the best beer in the world.
but
I gotta
to our
write down the
anniversary-
name of the episode.
So, I just got the magazine today. They came out with their best of 2019, and our barrel-aged Doppelbock is rated like the 20-something best beer. So during our
Jesus.
anniversary, we're doing a special bottle release. We brewed this Doppelbock with our friends at Law's Whiskey.
Yep.
So we used that Law's Whiskey barrel. And Propagate Yeast Labs, which is a local
Yep.
yeast
We
company.
know
Matt-
the
we
Propagate
know Matt
Pro
Lowe,
is,
yeah.
Yeah, Matt's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
good Regis professor.
Absolutely.
And,
yeah. Way
my-
smarter than me.
My wife
Which doesn't take much.
my wife teaches his kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Who knows? They're doing good stuff over there. He's slowly trying to grab up some territory, as he
Yeah,
should.
we are brewing a beer with him in the next couple of weeks that we've never brewed. It's called very small batch. It's called Horus,
Okay.
and it's going to be 100% oats. And 100% Saz hops because we're Czechs and that's basically all
Yeah.
we ever use. And so we're doing some fun
What
stuff
is
with
that? What does that result in?
I don't know. I've
Okay.
never, it'll
Huh.
be cloudy.
It's not a stout. I mean,
No,
I think
it's not a
oats. I think
stout.
oatmeal stout, but yeah. So
Is it a dark beer though? Is it, like, what
It'll
would
be
that-
a light. It'll be a
It'll be
lighter
light
beer.
Lighter beer.
It's an Austrian beer, I guess. I think Horus was someone's name or last name from
sounds like a
Austria.
guy that killed
Horace
a lot of people.
Grant, the yellow song.
Let me
Horace Grant.
from the Bulls.
Yes,
Yeah. Well, Jeremy Grant is Horace.
No,
Jeremy.
Horace. What was the ELO song? Was Horace Wimp? But Horace
okay.
Grant was a bull. You're
Yeah,
right. Yes, big
And
goggles.
either his son or his nephew, Jeremy Grant, plays for the Nuggets right now. I'm a
No
huge
shit?
Nuggets fan.
Who
Huge
knew?
Nuggets fan.
I
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Nuggets, Lakers, Western Conference Finals. It's coming.
You think?
Yeah,
There it
the
is.
Lakers are
Prediction.
gonna sweep 'em.
Prediction 2023. No, I'm just kidding. This is how shit goes on this show, by the way.
It's unfiltered for a reason.
If you got an extra 5-ish minutes, I'm going to
Sure.
ask another question. We talk about Matt. We talk about Propagate. We talk about yeast. We talk about all these things separately in a lot of our interviews. And it's not always Matt, and it's not always Propagate, but you're the first person who said you're going to brew a beer with Matt and Propagate. Is he coming in? I mean, is he part of the process? Do you get Matt involved? I mean, is he feeding the fire that process?
Yeah, I don't think he does a lot of work because he's kind of lazy. But,
Well,
no,
you know,
very
he's
small guy.
As far as I can tell, he's a millennial. So
no, Matt's great. Yeah, he comes in, rolls up his sleeves, and
That's amazing.
And helps him, and brews the beer. Absolutely.
I had no idea. I'm telling you, man, we got to get one of these East guys on the
yeah.
freaking
Get
horn.
Matt on.
Yeah, Matt's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
John from Inland Island's great.
Johnny,
Johnny.
yeah, from Inland Island, Johnny G.
Yeah, I like both of those guys.
Yeah, well, they were partners, you know.
Yeah,
they-
right.
they-
Yep.
Something happened there. That's
Something.
We should fucking get those two on the show at the
There
same time.
you go. Let me be involved in that. I want to.
I think we'll have to do it at like the Buell Theater or something. There
you go.
Like we'd have to invite everybody in town for that
Easy,
interview.
Jay. I'm working this and a full-time job.
Yeah,
so
you're having a
settle.
baby too. I told
and
you.
I'm having a third
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
So,
yeah, that third one makes it easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
oh my God, no
Now,
shit.
once they outnumber you, you're screwed.
Oh man, I've been fucked for 5 years now.
done.
yeah.
Ron, thank you so much. Garrett, thank you so much for joining in.
Always good to have
Let's do
a
another
guest,
cheers.
DJ.
My pleasure, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Cheers.
Where can we? Let me ask one last question. If we're not coming into Seedstock,
Yep.
where else can we get your beer around town?
Let's see. You can get us at Terminal Bar.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can get us at Terminal Bar. You can get us at Most Perry's Pizzas.
Oh, excellent choice.
Yeah, excellent pizza too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two of them by my office. We
Best
pick,
beer
we
selection in town.
in town.
The new place over in Edgewater, kind of that food. I don't want to call it a food
Public
court.
market, the
Thank
Edgewater
you.
Public
Yeah,
Market.
yeah. Rogers Bar. Yeah, our Bohemian Ales is there, and it's selling really well. It's a great place.
It's a fun place.
Yeah.
Dig it. All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. You too. Thank you so much. Everybody, come over to Seedstock. I mean,
Yeah.
this place is.
Jumping.
I mean, it's packed on a. What is it? It's Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Time stamped. All right. Thank you, Ron.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
When they come to take